Simon Going Bush now to look at trees on farms, Nick. We, would you believe, are on a farm, yet there are trees here.
Andrew, they say on the average farm you could probably plant 20% of it down to trees without affecting the return made from an agricultural perspective.
That's exactly right. It sounds like a good idea. You've just got to convince your farmer to spend money now to get a return in 30 years. Trees on Farm is a joint venture scheme that is helping to get more farmers to take the forestry plunge. Basically, the landowner provides the land, Forestry Tasmania then does the work, and cops the cost of planting and maintaining the trees until harvest.
It's always hard to get an investment in a crop that's got a 30-year return profile, so making those investments is a bit challenging. And the assistance of the Trees on Farm program helps to defray that and to make the farmer better able to maintain that as part of the business enterprise.
Nick Gatenby's family has been farming in the Midlands of Tasmania for generations, and for much of that time, forestry has played a part in their operation. The Trees on Farms program is helping that to continue.
The only real cost to us is going to be fencing off the land for the trees. Forestry Tasmania have undertaken to do all the works themselves and look after and maintain the trees. So for us, there's really no overhead cost with just some overdue fencing, which probably needed to be done anyway.
One of the major attractions of the scheme is to provide a use for land that was previously unproductive.
Lots of farms have got dead land, if you wish. You know, it's got weeds on it, or it's on a gully, or it's in the corner of paddocks that hasn't been used. It's not difficult to find that 20% on most farms without impacting on the main activities.
Before any joint ventures are struck, an assessment is carried out on the potential site to determine its suitability.
The steps are fairly diligent ones where we have to be assured that the trees are going to grow and are going to be financially viable. So we do a fairly stringent assessment of the area. We contract Private Forests Tasmania to do that assessment for us, where we look at soil, we look at rainfall, we look at climatic conditions and a variety of other aspects that might influence it. And that assessment will then indicate to us what species we plant. It could be Pinus radiata, it could be eucalyptus. And based on the assessment, we then make a decision whether to enter into the joint venture with the landowner or not.
So far, more than 70% of sites assessed have been accepted into the Trees on Farms program.
I don't see any problem at all with this. We have a good cover of gorse, but I think if we look at mulching that and then controlling the regrowth over a couple of years, I see no reason why we couldn't establish a good plantation.
Even out in that rocky bank there, I mean, there's a lot of rocks out there, and it's totally unproductive land for us.
Yes, look, what's unproductive for agriculture, you'll be surprised at what we can do in forestry.
So once the site's been chosen, one of the steps then, Andrew, is to identify the risks that are posed by planting trees in that area.
That's right, Nick. They range from things like the weather.
Yep.
If it's a north-facing area, there could be drought to contend with. Then there's the animals, both native and introduced. This area in the Midlands has a heap of deer running about, so that all has to be taken into account.
They have a saying here that deer don't respect fences.
But so long as the vermin and stock can be kept out of the plantation in its formative years, there's no reason why stock can't be reintroduced once it's established.
Under any joint venture agreement, there's got to be an understanding between the landowner and Forestry Tasmania, and I would say after a period of time when the trees are up to a stage that we will be able to put stock back on there, and that will be a benefit for us also.
Another potentially much greater benefit is the implications that may arise from a carbon trading market, an as yet untapped source for future income.
Whilst the rules for carbon trading, etc., haven't been well and truly laid down, we see quite a good potential for landowners through their planting trees on their farms to sequester carbon on the community's behalf.
So in summary, around 20% of most farms could be put down to trees without affecting the current bottom line. The only upfront cost to the landowner is secure fencing. Each potential site is thoroughly assessed to ensure a viable plantation, and the program may deliver income from future carbon trading markets. Watch this space.